An unsung hero. 2,500 infants saved. The Holocaust was a gruesome time period that lasted from approximately 1933 to 1945. Throughout the duration of these several years, millions of Jews were killed in an attempt to purify Nazi Germany, using Hitler as a driving force. Amongst these Jews, approximately 1.5 million were children. During this horrific slaughter, children were viewed as worthless and impractical, as they were not able to accomplish the same tasks an adult would adeptly be able to do, and yet still consumed valuable food and resources. Although the Nazis faced fierce resistance against such criminal slaughter, much could not be done in response to the brutal and oppressive Nazi tyrants. However, very rarely, miracles happened and innocent lives were saved through the efforts of war heroes. One such hero was Irena Sendler, a nurse from Warsaw, Poland. Because of Sendler's endeavors, thousands of lives of Jewish children were saved during the Holocaust. Irena Sendler truly embodied the spirit of heroism, the noble acts of kindness, by committing herself to help others at her own risk. Because of Irena Sendler's dedication and strong will, she left a lasting legacy of hope and courage for generations to come. Irena received inspiration from her father, who became the first Polish socialist. Sendler's father was also a medical professional who had aided Jews that had fallen ill or required treatment, much to the discontent of Nazis. Even before the ghetto where Sendler lived had become fully occupied by Nazis, Sendler and her family continuously helped by distributing canteens with clothing, food, money, and medicine. This was mainly due to the sympathy and kindness that Sendler and her family possessed. The Sendlers further their aid and support of Jews by allowing them to escape religious persecution through new registrations as official Christians. Thereby, when the Nazis occupied the Sendlers' ghetto, Irena was especially infuriated and did whatever she could to fight against this cruel force. This included joining the Zakota, an underground Nazi resistance movement at the time. Jews were aided whenever possible by the Zakota members, while Irena's main focus was children. Irena wished to help preserve the lives of children, and did so by carefully delivering them food, medicine, and clothing, as well as sending them to churches to be sheltered. Even though over 5,000 people died from her ghetto each month, Irena was still able to decrease the number one step at a time through her efforts. Tragically, Irena Sendler was captured on October 20th, 1943, because the Nazis were aware of the civic duties she was performing inside the ghetto. Sendler was left in prison, and she was tortured so brutally that both her feet and legs were broken. Irena Sendler was the only person who knew the whereabouts of each child that she saved, and she risked her life and limbs and endured the torture just so the Nazis would never find out. Once she escaped, the Nazis had been searching for her for the rest of the war. Irena Sendler's primary agenda was to save as many Jewish families and children as possible, even if it cost her own life. Sendler kept track of every single infant that she saved. She put them all in a jar and buried their names in a hidden unknown location. After the Holocaust was over, she unearthed the jar and did her best to reunite all the babies with their relatives that were scattered all across Europe. Even today, her efforts are still present and families continue to be reunited, and her legacy will always live on. Irena Sendler was highly credited in her later years for her hard work and dedication towards the good of humanity. She won the Order of the White Eagle, which is the highest distinction in Poland. She also won the Order of the Smile, which is an honor given to those people who have been extraordinary in their care and aid for children. Irena Sendler was also nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Unfortunately, she did not win. Sendler has been an inspiration in people's hearts and will continue to live on as a standing force for humanity for generations to come.